bounce the material. Hey guys and girls, my name's Dan, welcome back to The Forge. In this episode of Trust Me, I'm a Blacksmith, I am going to be forging one half of the Vise jaw for the jewellery vise, and also making this really cool, cute little anvil. And in this video we're going to be making the little anvil. This was fire welded on, I had to do some other bits to it, but I also did this 90 here, so we'll be talking about how to do all of those, and also how to get a nice big upset to make this half of the vise, which I also made in this video. So this cute little anvil and 90. In this video I'm going to go over in a lot of detail how to do upsetting and forging 90s. I've done videos like this before, but never with this camera, and I've never gone into it with as much detail as I've got into it in this video. Now, I would really like people to let me know what they think of the video and the content that's in this one, so leave me a comment down below, tell me what you think of the video, the content, and the stuff that I've been trying, all the new camera angles and footage and all that stuff. That would be a great help. So, see you at the end of the video. Okay, the material that we're using for this is 20 square or 3/4 of an inch square. This is made out of forklift truck tie, and I'll forge this down. We're going to use this to make a little anvil with a 90 in it, a forged square corner, that will become the back end of the base that holds this to a table. And then we also need to turn another piece of this into the other half of the vise, just like this one, except for we need a little nubbin on the end that we can drill a hole through and tap, that we can turn into a piece that will hold it to a table. Me and Matthew are going to try and get those two bits done today, make a second one of these and the little anvil. Okay, so I'm going to try and give as much good description as I can about doing square corners. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to come over to the bit, round side of my hammer, start bending the material up. Now, if I had, this was mild steel, I might have spent a little bit of time cooling this end and heating this end to bump this up, so that I had material a little bit of extra material in here, but because this is 4140, I don't really want to. I don't want to really go quenching things off, because it's just going to heat treat them. So that's the first part. Put a bend in, just a bit over 90. We're going to start sending that backwards and forwards on itself now, and try and pushing material from this side into the corner. Okay, so just going to grab a hand hammer. I'm just going to start sending the material backwards. So I'm hitting on top here. I'm just trying to get that material to push down, and I'm going to change over to this side as well. And just rinse and repeat. Just try and keeping it straight. I'm not trying to forge those sides. Not trying to forge the sides down just yet. I'm just trying to keep it straight so it's all sort of in line. Bit that back in the fire. And I'm being very cautious not to send too much material back into the corner to start with, because that's when you get your shut developing. And when you get to a point where things are starting to bend up, don't hit here and don't hit on the sides yet. Just return everything back to its original form and keep it straight. And again, forging the material in this way is just going to end up promoting a shut if you're not careful. Work for the temperature. That's coming off on an angle, so I'm going to tip it slightly and forge it down a bit. If at any time it looks like it's starting to crease up or anything, that's when you want to stop. That's when you want to stop upsetting it and think about working it back into that corner, get it back to that stop size. Okay, going to take a bit of this width out at the top. I'm not forging on the corner at the minute, and then I'm going to take some of the material away here. I just want to keep this in section as much as possible. And now that it's this shape again, I'm going to lift it up and forge on the other side, trying to get some of that material to upset down, and then straighten that back up. Not forging the corner just yet. And then I'm going to bring this down again. And basically rinse and repeat until you have a square corner. Yep. Yep. So just going to get that here with a flatter, a little bit lighter. Yep. Again. A bit lighter. One. Yep. And then I'm going to be able to come, I'm going to have to come right on the edge of the anvil here. Yep. 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 Well. Yep. Nice. Yep. 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 And now I'm just going to start tidying up this corner now. So I'm just going to hook this in tight onto the corner. I'm going to take my flatter and I'm going to gum half on, half off the anvil. Yep. And I'm going to do the same on the other side. Let's see if Matt's going to swing that way for me. Yep. Yep. One more. Okay, lovely. Right. Yep. 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 Just going to get Matt just to send this material down a bit. Yeah, got a few. Yeah. Yeah. And what I'm trying to do here is get the material to spread out a bit. So I can forge a little anvil on here. Okay, so I'm a glutton for punishment. And Matthew has convinced me that there's not enough material here to make a little anvil. I am agreeing. So we're going to fire weld a bit more material on top of this section here once I've got it looking reasonably tidy. And what we're going to do is we're going to fire weld some material on top just to bulk up the anvil ever so slightly so that we can make the bick and the horn. Yep. Yep. Right, I need to draw this material down ever so slightly. This is what we're going to weld on. It's just another bit of tine, bit of scrap from the hammer eye tong video. There'll be a link out there, I think. In fact, I think it's over here. So I'm just going to bring this down ever so slightly so it matches the width of this material, like so. And then I'm going to try and fire weld that on there. What I'm going to try and do is going to try and fire weld it in the middle, so I've got a bit of material hanging over, so we can forge that into a bick and a horn. A bick and a table, sorry, and a heel. I am a blacksmith, I do know what these terms are. And hopefully that's going to go on. Right, let's get this hot. That's it. I think I want that one. Maybe? No, that won't want it right enough. There we go. Yeah. Hot. Okay, so we've cut the anvil thingy off. of the bar. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring the corners in on one end of the 20 square to create chamfers. Now I'm coming in at an angle, I'm forging that material back ever so slightly. So. Promote. A central piece. I'm not trying to forge both sides here, I'm trying to send the material back into itself. What that should do is should give you something that looks a bit like this. Hopefully, give you something that looks like this, and that's going to help us expand this area here, because when we start upsetting this, we're going to push this in on itself. Okay, so I'm going to get this nice and hot. I'm going to work at an angle to my anvil. Take my hammer. I'm going to bounce the material. And there's two reasons for this. It stops you from laying up and flipping the material over. I'm going to rotate this round now. And also it stops the heat from being sucked into the anvil. Also, it also accelerates that bar a little bit more. So you get the maximum out of the material. And then on this heat, all I'm going to do, I'm going to work slightly further back on the material. And I'm going to push it up so it sits in the centre. Better tongs. I don't want to push, I don't want to forge the material, but I want it to taper evenly on both sides, which it won't do if you've got any problems. Okay, that looks pretty good. What you also might need to do is come slightly further back on the anvil to get that taper in as you get a bigger head on the end. So what I'm going to do is going to put it back in the fire, and I'm going to reintroduce these bevels, and then I'm going to do the upsetting again. So I'll go through it one more time. Right, so same again. Just going to encourage that chamfer. So this is slightly upsetting the material anyway, and I'm coming in this way. I'm coming in like so. Okay, same again, and I'm going to stand on the corner of the anvil here. Send that material back into itself. Have a good look at it, make sure it's not bending. If it is starting to bend as well, try and orientate yourself so you're not working into that bend. Try and work out a bit. That didn't make any sense. You'll know what I mean when you come to do it. And just keep sending that material back into itself. And grab it with a better set of tongs and just make that taper nice. What you might find as well is you might find some areas where you start to get a little bit of a fold over. And if that's the case, just take that material back down so that it's not going to start developing a shuck, because that's what's going to happen if you're not careful. Okay, so it's the next day, and this is the progress so far. I already made this one because I was playing around with a few forging ideas. We need to finish this, and this was the fire weld. I'm not a confident fire welder. It's one of the elements of my blacksmithing that is poor, to say the least. But this is together. It's not going anywhere. I can't snap it by hand. I'm not going to try and snap it in any other means, but I am going to run a little bead of TIG round here. Now, If I was a more confident welder and I had more time, I would put a lot more time and effort into getting this weld to work. I genuinely didn't think it was going to work. Me and Matt were just having a bit of a play, but it did work and the results have been really good. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to stick a bead of TIG around this, and then once that bead's in, I'm going to take it over to the forge, and then I'm going to let it all normalise down at the same time. And then think about how we're going to dress it up and make it look a bit tidier, because it's got a bit scuzzy because of the fire welding. But this is going to be the part of the vise that's going to end up being held to the table. So it's going to go on like this. I don't know if you can see that. So it's going to go like that, basically. And that's going to be the top of the table there. And it's going to get there'll be a screw that comes up from this side to hold it to the table. And then this is obviously the other side of the vise here, like so. Right, I also need to finish forging this one into a position where it's about the same as this one. I've got plenty of material still, so. So this is the second time that I've made this part, and I often find when making multiple components, like the same component over and over again, not only does it become quicker, maybe that's a psychological thing, but not only does it become quicker, but you end up doing things more efficiently, and as a consequence, this jaw is going to end up being a lot bigger than the one I've already made. And I was intending on trimming them down to fit, but with this one I'm going to have to bring it out a lot longer and draw it down a lot thinner to get it to fit, which isn't a problem. It's just something to be aware of. If you're making components for your projects at home, just keep an eye on what's going on, because you don't want to get halfway through forging this one and go, oh god, the other one's twice as big, and then have a real problem because you've gone too far and you're starting to do some reforging at a point where it doesn't make sense to. So just going to match those two parts up and get them looking tidy so that we know that we've got enough material. Also, try and be a bit creative with your tooling. For example, I want to get in and tidy this shoulder up, but if I do it here with the hammer, I'm going to end up bending the work up ever so slightly. And at this point in time, it's not too much of a big deal. However, later on I might find that bit to be a little bit irritating. So there's a way around this. I can dunk my jaws into the hardy hole, and I'm putting a bit of pressure into the back of the hardy, but that will give us a similar result as to the one that we wanted on this side. Okay, that's a bit cold. Pop that back in the fire. Okay, so here is the piece that I've TIG welded round. Now, if I had better forge welding skills, I would have basically made some pieces of steel when this was hot anyway, and I would have been able to just lay them in there and then hammer them in. I could have also have modified, anyway, there were lots of things I could have done to make that weld better, but it worked. I wasn't expecting it to work, and this is where we are now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut some of this material off here, and then I'm going to get it into the fire, and I'm going to do a little bit of tidying up. I'm going to get this piece here straight, and I'm going to get this piece looking a bit tidier and smarter. And then I'm going to cut this side into the bick. I'm going to bring that into a bick shape. I might do a little bit of forging on that initially to see what it looks like. I'm not desperate to break this. It being hot and moving around is more likely to break it than it being fire welded with the TIG weld around it and break whilst you're hitting it hard on top here. So I'm not in any hurry to mess this up. And then I think I'll put the anvil, or the heel of the anvil, on this side here. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to chop this material off, get this in the fire, and start doing a bit of tidying up on it. So we've messed this transition up ever so slightly. I think I was being a bit brave with the power hammer. It's not a big deal because for this project I want to do a bit of grinding on this anyway, so I can just use filing, whatever, and I can just use some of the time to file in and get these shoulders looking nice and smart. Now that was much better this time using that. Okay, so I'll be able to forge this down now into the right section, and hopefully be able to match it up with the other side. Thank you for joining me. So far, these parts have turned out great. I've really enjoyed making this little component, well, actually making all three of the components. I've really enjoyed making these, and they turned out lovely. Really, really brave little fire weld there, for me at least anyway. It's not something I enjoy doing. Although, saying that, I really enjoyed doing that little weld. Matt helped me amazingly. Thank you so much, Matt, for your help. I'll leave a link to his Instagram in the description. Those parts turned out lovely. Hopefully this is going to come together really nicely. The next video will be me assembling the smaller parts, creating the smaller parts so that we can put it together into something a bit more useful. And then at some point we need to start working on the screw box and stuff. I've had trouble with my leg vise build, that's why it's been stalled, because I'm not happy with the screw box and everything that I want it to look really dapper. So I'm going to try and nail it down here a little bit and see what we can come up with and some ideas and stuff. So that's what I'm going to try with this one here. So if you did enjoy the video, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you are a subscriber, please ring that bell for notifications because it tells you every time I make videos. I try to make videos as often as possible. I'm going to continue to try and make videos considering what's going on at the minute with this virus outbreak and all that stuff. That'll date this video quite nicely. And there is a potential that my other commitments are going to slow down. We will be moved by the end of this week, I'm hoping as well, so I should be able to ramp up the video content a little bit more again. I've been a bit behind, things have been a bit chaotic this end. So anyway, hopefully, fingers crossed, more videos to come. If you did enjoy this video and you want to support the channel in any way, shape or form, like I said before, please leave a like, subscribe, share this video, drop a comment down below, then open up the description box and there's loads of links. Some of those links go to my Etsy, they go to a Patreon, they go to all sorts of great places, my website and stuff like that. Go and check all of those things out. Go check out the Instagram. Definitely go check Matt's Instagram out as well because he was amazing. That is everything. Thank you so much for joining me. I will leave a link up here to a video of me making the G-clamp. This will probably be another G-clamp video. That was a clamp of the month video. This here will be another video on something else, probably something YouTube thinks you'll like, and there's a subscribe button. Thanks, bye-bye.